Hello, my name is Jennifer Hoffman, and welcome to the virtual exhibit of Tales of a Wayside Inn by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Longfellow was known as a schoolroom poet. He was an American author who was born in the early 1800s and lived until 1883. He was called a schoolroom poet because at the time, many of his poems were required readings for school children to memorize. He had a very easy style of writing, very kind of sing-song, and a lot of the works that he wrote contained a great deal of history in them. You're probably familiar with the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere and the Song of Hiawatha. Those are all titles that are very familiar to most people. And they are contained, well, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere is contained in this book, which is the Tales of the Wayside Inn, which is over 20 different poems that he put together based on an inn in Sudbury, Massachusetts, where travelers used to come and stay, and even stay today. It's the longest established inn in the United States, actually. There are three editions that I looked at: the 1863 edition, which was the first time this work was published, the 1913 edition, and a 1985 edition. The exhibit contains information about all three of these, as well as a page dedicated to the digital versions of the editions. The 1863 edition, shown here, is, you'll notice there are 4 books here. These were taken, are on display at the Tulane Rare Book Library in New Orleans, and they have 4 copies of the 1863 first edition. You'll notice how very simple they are, very just simple small cloth bindings. This is a photograph or a illustration from the interior of this edition. It's the only illustration that's contained in the edition. Now, a edition that has that is quite interesting is this 1913 edition here. You notice it has a very decorative publisher's binding with a lot of gold illumination. Inside the book, there is a frontispiece depicting a photograph of the inn, and throughout the book there are many illustrations and photographs in between just about every chapter, which is very different from the 1863 edition. The 1985 edition is kind of reverts back to the original 19th century edition. It's very small, very simple, just some gold lettering on the exterior. The interior, let's see if I have a shot of the interior right here, is just one photograph or one illustration, just like the 1863 edition. So the 1913 edition is much more illuminated, much more decorative. The 1863 edition and the 1985 edition are both very small in size compared to the 1913 edition. All of these editions are similar in that they all have cloth exteriors, they have sewn pages, and there are no signature marks located throughout the book. You'll notice in the exhibit the digital editions. One of them is from the Internet Archives, the other is from Project Gutenberg. The Project Gutenberg one is strictly text, as they all are. The Internet Archives one is very easy to look at. You can turn the pages, you can look at 2 pages at a time, 4 pages at a time, and it's easy. It's a real digital facsimile of the 1863 book. If you have not read Longfellow, I encourage you to read something by him, if not Tales of the Wayside Inn, although it's an excellent work. He was actually the first American poet that was able to sustain himself solely by his writings, which it was a very rare thing in that day and even is today. So I hope you enjoyed this exhibit, and I hope you will check out Longfellow and any writings that you can find of his. Thank you.